So why don't we jump into our first one, which is something that isn't really slander towards gig workers. So we're starting off pretty lightly. So, and I wanted to make sure that we got through this one because I loved the conversation. Really, serial tipper versus tipping culture hater. So these are the two opposite sides of the spectrum. And this is someone who loves to tip and probably tips more than they should, if we're being totally honest. And then there's somebody who does like hates the concept of tipping culture in general. So, and what is the twist on this? Well, just like most opposites, they tend to attract being a couple.
My wife has a slight problem.
I don't have
I would
a problem.
say she has a
I
slight
don't.
problem.
He calls me a serial tipper.
She is a serial tipper. She loves to tip people, and not
Oh,
everybody
what a crime!
needs
What
a
a crime!
tip.
Someone does something really nice for me, so I feel like I need to do something back.
I
Oh,
love that for you, not our wallet. For those of you that don't know tipping culture or may not live in the U.S., it's crazy.
in the United States, typically, if someone does a service for you,
Yes.
you give them a little extra cash
As a thank you.
a thank you,
Yes.
and because people aren't paid well.
Exactly. However, not everybody needs a tip. For example, do you tip your doctor when we get a checkup?
No.
Do we tip the mailman when they drop off the mail?
No.
Do we tip the electricians that came to our house with a professional job to do?
They performed manual labor for 2
They
days. They're at mi casa.
They
2
are-
days.
They are trained professionals, and they don't need it.
So we should professionally tip them.
You-
I'm just confused now.
Listen.
Okay, and I just feel like even though we're paying them, we just need to
Listen,
tip more. I don't know.
We love to tip. We tip graciously. We are thankful for the people that take care of us. But not everybody needs a tip, okay? Not every. You would give everybody a tip if you could, huh?
Yeah, I would.
You know what? Everybody gets a tip. Everybody gets a tip now. Take your checkbooks out. You're getting a tip starting tonight. And everybody...
So, yeah, I get Big Frugal. I think he's just being a little extreme on that. And maybe she's a little too generous. Like, actually, you do tip the mailman or the delivery guy who's bringing your packages around the holidays.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like,
You're
during the
bringing in
holidays, some
excess
people
stuff,
do
you know?
that. Yeah. Especially for all those houses that like have Amazon coming through like every other week or some shit.
Yeah. So
And-
yeah, typically during that time of year, like Amazon Flex actually lets tipping happen because of that.
Yeah. It's funny because there's another skit that I saw. We're not going to show it for this stream, but we'll show it at some point. But there was another skit that we saw where where an Amazon driver was being offered a tip, but they were like, no, I can't accept tips. I'll be fired. And I've experienced jobs like that where, excuse me, I've experienced jobs like that to where they will not allow you to accept a tip, especially if it's like a grocery store. Like some places actually have a little tag that says, do not, like, we cannot accept tips. Not like anybody really cares about that, but still.
Yeah,
I thought
basically,
it was weird.
I've had people force tips on me, and what they say to do in that case is, go throw it in the CMN bucket, give it to the charity bucket. And that's basically all I can do. But I mean, if it's out of line of sight, let's say,
out of sight, doesn't enter their mind, doesn't matter. No, I didn't see anything.
It's a gift, not a tip at that point.
Yeah. But
and some people get offended if you won't take it,
Yeah. In terms of the electrician, though, and I will say this for my mechanics as well, because I'm a big person of like during the holidays, make sure you take care of your like consistent service people, especially for us who are like dependent on them doing a good fucking job. Like, are you kidding me? But let me quickly go over this slide and I'll start to acknowledge people in the chat. Serial tipper versus So tipping culture, let's be realistic, has gotten out of hand. There's a difference between services provided and self-service requesting tips. Like we've all seen like gas pumps or self-serve kiosks like pull up a gratuity screen and we want to throw up just at the concept of it showing up there.
Yeah,
Land like the concept of landlords tipping is just like accepting tips is bullshit in my opinion. But that's a different
here
thing.
you overpay for rent these days, and here tip your landlord on top of your $1,500 rent. Okay, no.
I know, right? And serial tippers are appreciated. We appreciate them. They're
Mhm.
not required. In fact, my favorite kind of customer are the customers that tip enough beforehand, get the order delivered and then tip more after. Like those are my favorite, hands down, no
Yeah,
question.
the one the most likely to post tip you already did so appropriately in app. Like at least they picked like one of the 20% usually.
Yeah. And finally, hater is a strong word. Like I chose that because again, it's a thumbnail. This couple is not to be confused. I need to do it like this because it's getting cut off. Is not to be confused with actually abusive customers. Because let's be honest, this was a sweet couple at the end of the day. I just wanted to
Yeah.
show that because like it does have a duality on the subject. And it's amazing how you have one person who loves to tip and who loves to show their appreciation, and one is just like, okay, but we got to look at the finances here. We got to
Yeah.
make sure we're like not getting in the red here. Come on.
Yeah, like I know like Drew Carey, for example, is a very generous tip. He loves to make people days, like, but he's rich, you know.
Yeah.
That's actually how they convinced him to do the Price Right. By the way, like, don't you like making people day? Because like that's like something they said that he likes to do, and that's how they
I
got.
didn't know that actually. That's
Yep.
news to me. That's cool.
Yeah.
I didn't
They
know that.
interviewed him when he's doing it for 10 years. Yeah, time flies. But
Yeah.
anyway, like, yeah, then you got the other end where don't like tipping, and like everyone's going everywhere, and everything that you stand up for these days wants a tip. Like, okay, I here's the line for me personally. If I'm making a bunch of special requests and they got to go out of their way to make my stuff, or it takes extra time,
Hmm.
throw them a couple bucks. But like, if it's just like I'm standing up at a Chipotle and I'm just going through the normal line, and like I'm still doing it just because what I do, but like, eh. Like my buddy got really pissed at me the other night because I ordered out and I threw 10% on it.
Threw 10% on it.
Yeah, on takeout.
Oh, okay. Um, Here's my thing. For servers and drivers, 99% of the time, in fact, 100% of the time, I'm gonna tip you. Whether or not I rate you badly is dependent on your attitude. Um, but you would have to do something spectacularly terrible for me to even consider number one, touching the tip, and number two, like calling out the customer, like rating you badly to begin with. And at the end of the day, I tip who I tip. I tip who I tip. If if you conducted some kind of service that like assumes a tip or requires a tip for you to make ends meet, sure, I'll tip. But I'm gonna be honest, I'm more middle of the road. I will tip you your 20% and I will do no more, no less. That's
Like,
just me personally.
I know there's certain people who would tip me when I worked at the sub shop, and
Okay.
some people are either in the service industry themselves, restaurant owners, like they own a bar or whatever, um, and they would be very generous people, but like even just a loose change would add up over time. But like a lot of people is like if I go to a place like that, well, you better be, you know, I get having a bad day, but like a lot of people just like, why are you bothering me?
Yeah.
And I'll admit, like, when it's like I'm trying to get the hell out of there, like go away. But like this is like during normal hours. Like I'm not I'm not there closed or anything like that. It's like here it's 5 p.m. during middle rush or 6 p.m. whatever. It's like
Mhm.
this is peak time, guys. You can't be miserable about it. You got to be cheerful and providing a good experience to your guests. So they might want to be a little more generous and that it's a two-way street, really.
Yeah.
Like I try to stay professional with every customer, but it's really hard to deal with somebody who's miserable or talking on their cell phone constantly during the whole transaction.
Well, for me, okay, for in terms of cell phone interaction, 9 times out of 10, they're not looking for a customer service experience. They're looking to finish their conversation, get their shit done, and get out. So
You-
that's
You'd be
I get what you're
you'd be
saying. Like
surprised.
I know that there are people who do have that expectation, and I'm just like, I
Yeah,
can't hear you. Like, do you hear
yeah,
me? Because I don't hear you.
it's very hard to interact with somebody in a friendly manner when you're trying to just ask the questions and you gotta stop till they're done a sentence, interject, and they're gonna think you're being rude because you're not getting it done, or you're like, you're stopping my conversation. Well, we our managers would let us, back of the line if there was other people waiting. Like, could you please step to the back of the line so you can finish your conversation because there's other people waiting. Those
Yeah,
people would sometimes get mad and storm out, but like our owner and our
let him.
managers are really cool with that.
Let
Yeah,
him storm out. You see, that's the
yeah.
difference between a quality manager who stands on business and a wishy-washy manager who got put in that
Oh,
position, in my opinion.
I've worked for the ones where you got to deal with it, and then they get mad at you that you took so long with them. It's like, like unless you're literally talking to somebody because you're trying to order food for them too.
Mhm.
So like you're talking through them. In that case, I'd rather you just put it up on speakerphone and I talk to them like they're in front of me.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay. Let's go over
We got
some
the chat
comments really
here.
quick.
Yep.
Red Speedy Gonzalez, thank you for joining us.
Yes,
I have never had an issue with the serial non-tippers. I never accept their order. Yeah, I agree with that. Vegas Coin Vegas, thank you for joining us. Maybe
Yeah.
you're using the electrician for something else. I happen to be familiar with this couple's content. I sincerely doubt it, but I wouldn't. But at the same time, I wouldn't put past anybody anymore. So I can't put it past them. I like her. I like her too. Hey, Lisa, thank you for joining us. The grocery store I was a chef at would not let us accept tips. 17 years later, they can accept tips now. Good.
Yeah.
I love how they change their policies for the better as soon as you leave, almost all the time.
Yeah. So like a year after I left, the sub shop started like putting it on their pin pads. And like because like if we put a jar or the cup out there and had tips wrote on it, like the person who comes in and makes sure we're doing it by the book, like their Subway's like representative. And I just said the brand name, my bad. But like
Who
but
cares?
like they would if he saw that, he would take it and just chuck it across the room. He didn't care if it was full or not.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Well, because like they didn't want to pressure customers into thinking they had to.
Well,
Yeah,
pressure my ass.
this is when most of them were $5 to $8, and the most expensive thing was 12.
Oh, with Subway, the
Yeah,
days of
now it's like
foot
like
longs.
12 for the average. It's like, oh my god.
Six
Now they got
dollars for 6 inches.
they got
Jesus
the
Christ.
they got the
What did you say?
$6.99 occasionally, but like you have to go by what the base ingredients are, and like most of the no, you can't put any vegetables besides what's supposed to come on, either get it or not.
Yeah. I don't tip takeaway, or we call it carry out here. I'm gonna be honest. I've never been somebody to tip takeaway either. Like
Yeah.
I actually, you know what? I don't know if it's really takeaway, if it counts as that, but I usually order online for
Mhm.
pickup specifically so I don't have to tip. Like that's my point. Like if I'm getting it delivered, that's one thing. But if I'm picking it up and I placed it online, that's what I expected. Like that's
Yeah.
kind of the point.
I still had someone taking my order, so he had to put it in and stuff, and
Okay,
he's
he
trying,
took your order. That's
he was
different.
trying
I
to like
guess that's
serve me
different.
and stuff. He's like, "Yeah, do you want a beer while you wait?" And like he's a cool guy, but like, and
Okay, but that is above and beyond service too. So I feel like
like,
it'd be irresponsible to not throw him a little
yeah,
something.
he's always trying to like be really good to his customer. He's an amazing guy. Um,
Great tipper, of course. Tim,
yeah,
you would be exactly who I'd expect to be a great tipper, to be honest.
yeah, like ironically, my buddy the other day had a order where the guy pulled the tip out all but $1, so you can't report him for tip baiting, jerk. My God, I hate when people do that. I think that's worse than like pulling the tip completely because they
Yeah.
know what they're doing.
Mhm. I know about curbside pickup. How about curbside pickup using the restaurant app? I don't tip them either. Here's the thing. I know
Unless
that
the other's
there are
an
some
asshole.
restaurants that offer curbside pickup. I seldom ever go there. I just prefer to, if I'm going someplace, I want to get up and go get it. It's nice to just take the convenient route. But if I wanted to go through a drive-through, I would go through a drive-through. The reason why I would get up at go to a place for a takeaway or like a actual restaurant order is for the fact that I could go in and get the overall physical involvement in, and it makes me a little bit more excited to get my food as opposed to just a casual pickup, you know?
Yeah, I think Outback and Applebee's have car side, like they come to you, for example. A lot of places, yeah, you just go and pick it up at the counter.
Yeah. Yup. Thank you for joining us. If you provide a service, I tip. If I have to do the work myself, I don't tip. I 100% agree with that. I
Yeah,
100% agree with that.
yeah. But there's places where you're self-serving everything. Like they're not even. It's not even that you're setting up and giving them your order and they're making your food in front of you,
Mhm.
or like a drink. But you're doing all the work yourself, and
Yeah.
half the time it's like a place that'll spin it around on you and here's the tip percentage in your face. I thought, well, I did all the work.
Yeah, right?
It's like me going into Stewart's, which is a gas station chain up here. They're known for their coffee, and like getting like, no, maybe if they made me food behind the counter, but if I'm just getting my coffee in the morning, no, no, no.
No.
I'm like, I made it.
Maybe if
What
it
you
is
drinking
like one of
on?
those super specialty coffees that requires like 17 ingredients, but even still, I'm also like, no.
No, I still made it. If I made it myself, no, hell no, 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 no.
Yeah,
If someone's
yeah,
making it for
exactly.
me, yeah, 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 yeah. Like, cause
Budsoda, what you drank on? What are you drinking, Bud?
Budweiser.
Budweiser. Bud drinking Bud.
Yeah, that's where
Um,
the nickname partially came from, is because that was Dale Jr.'s sponsor back in the day. Well, it is again now.
ah, that's funny. I think the tip policy changed after COVID. That's when I saw tip jars everywhere.
Oh yeah, that's when it really went into full effect because
Yeah.
they cut staffing, the prices went up, and they're like, well, let's put tips everywhere, and like they kind of did it some as a good gesture to where, okay, you stuck around, you worked through it, and you're working with less staffing. Okay, we'll give you, we'll have you tips now, but like at the same time, it's like why people are burnt the hell out about it. It's like they want it everywhere you go.
Mm-hmm.
Like I've been to places where it's like you did all the work, they flip it around on you, and here I still expect. I don't go back to those kind of places. Sorry, I really
Yeah.
don't. Like if I think it's like a freaking like kind of like a soft serve ice cream place or something, and it's like, like no, it's overpriced to begin with. It's like, but they
Okay,
just had all the fancy toppings. It's like, nah, it's not worth
agreed.
it. Yeah, because
So,
like I'm off the road here. It's like $4 for a regular size twist. It's like that's way too much. That's
so
too
we're
much for me.
about so we're about to get into some pretty heated. I think this is going to be a heated topic.
Oh boy, here
Uh,
we go.
yup, I don't tip in the app. The food still gets to me fast. I prefer making DoorDash pay more for the delivery, then I tip cash or any delivery
Mm,
service actually.
yep,
First
I'll
off,
disagree with you.
yeah, I 100% disagree with that. And 9 times out of 10 I would never accept an order that looks like a no tip order. And and also if you're getting your food fast, then you're not making DoorDash pay more. And also, you're probably not getting your
Yeah.
food fast, or your
It,
definition of
no,
fast is off.
well, it tells me he's a lot of early my time drivers in his market because like Nugs did that experiment and he waited
That's
maybe
fair enough.
10 more
Yes.
minutes. And like this is even before earn by time was a thing. Like the last time he did that experiment was just before it became a thing. And like the lady's like, oh, I have to keep my AR up and da because like even without the tier levels back then, they're like, oh well, it says you did a dig. It's like they believe that stupid messaging saying you're the best person for this order bull crap or some BS. And, oh, they're gonna punish me if I'm down to low.
But you're the best dasher for the job. Oh my god.
So I stopped doing like no tip add-ons and stuff like that. We're going to the same spot when people stopped giving me cash. Like that was like 2 months into me doing it.
Yeah, and also 9 times out of 10, if they're not tipping on the app beforehand, this goes right back to the serial tipper point. If they're not tipping on the app before then you're not tipping in cash after. So
Yeah, well,
why
like yeah, people were kind of doing it like the old school way at that point. Like they're just tipping when you get there. But like,
yeah.
yeah, like yeah, they figured quickly that oh my god, people are starting to they're just delivering it and let's see what happens if I don't tip them. And it's like it took them a while to flip it the other way where we just started declining all the time. We like as a group, oh so and so from
Yeah.
this building not tipping, don't deliver to them. And they kind
Yeah.
of figured that out. Now we got they signed up a whole bunch of new people again. So like they just see that big dollar incentive at the end, which they don't figure out that it's like 50 cents to maybe at the best $2 per order at the end of it,
Yeah.
which is
Which it brings up an important point. New drivers need to learn how to do gig work effectively sooner. So make
yeah.
sure that you're sharing content like this to them, so that way they know how to make the most amount of money in the least amount of time and safest possible
But
way. And we can collectively make sure that like DoorDash, UberEats, and Grubhub will pay their drivers better, and no tip customers are not being like served.
well, like here's the thing: is like every new driver that comes in, and I tell them don't accept absolutely nothing below $4 for an add-on. Like even if they're doing part time, just doing for a little extra money, like just trying to stay busy. And they're like, "Oh, I just do this to the side." Those people end up going away or burning out, and they say, "I can't make any money off this." I'm like, "Yeah, that's your own fault." I'm like, if us collectively as a group keep declining, I know my other same buddy that I talked about earlier, where I think he got tip baited. The same day he had a order for 9 and change, so about eight and change base pay, had only $1 tip on it. But I mean, that means though that it's working, that a bunch of people are declining it and it's sitting for a long period of time. So you're getting punished for not accepting the order. Luckily for them, it was cold sub, so it wasn't gonna hurt it. But like, dang.
Yeah, right.
All right.
One last one. I've only used Chili's for curbside because I think curbside was my only option. I
Yeah.
loved Chili's for the longest time. And then everything became wildly overpriced. And then I stopped going. Like the
That's
only
cool.
reason that I liked Chili's as much as I did was because the appetizers were relatively affordable and delicious. Now they're not so affordable. They're like over $10 each for the ones that I want. And it's just it feels like they're less quality now. Am I the only one who feels
Yeah.
that way?
Oh yeah, the quality went down, especially after Rona. Yeah, it used to be $3 to $5, and now everything's like 8 to 15. Like 15 for an appetizer is ridiculous.
Yeah, don't even get me
3
started.
for $10.99. I think it's like 3 for $25 now, and the portions are smaller. Like instead of like let's say 5 mozzarella sticks, to give it 3 or some BS.
Yeah, and then and even for deals like 3 for $10.99, it like I almost never look at that because they never have decent options, or at least they'll have like one decent option and I have to settle for the other. By the way, make sure you join us for the Driven Wyld live stream, and you could be part of the conversation too. We're looking forward to seeing you there.
Driven was the only way,